Assalamu alaikum friends. Welcome to the day 6 of the 21-day Learning SQL challenge. I am Mohammad Nisar Khan and welcome back to the channel. And today we will be focusing on the day 6, and the agenda for today would be using fact tables plus metrics, and we will be using the fact internet sales, which is a fact table, and then we will be focusing on measures like total sale, average order value, revenue by time, product, customer, and hopefully we will be answering some real KPI questions which are more common in the field of practical SQL. And this will not be only a syntax drill. So when I would be giving it a go ahead of day 6 is on, then he will be asking me these questions, for example, the revenue mode, KPI thinking, and the real business pressure. And this would be our agenda for today, for the day 6. And if you have watched the yesterday day 5 video, you would see that after 4 questions I asked ChatGPT to ask me one final bonus question because I was feeling confident to solve these questions. So I asked him to ask me another question, one more question. So this was the final bonus question which he asked, and which was, which customer genders have generated total sales greater than 10 million, and what is the total sales amount for each of those genders? There is it, no hints, and you decide which tables, how to connect them, what to aggregate. This is the hands off from dimension to facts, and is exactly where analyst levels up. Write query when ready. And today we are here. It was given to me yesterday. So I told you in the yesterday day 5 video, and the day 5 video I told you that I would be starting with this question on day 6, because after some deliberations I came to the conclusion that this question, I think so, because now we are focusing on dimension and fact tables at the same time. What I thought that I would be looking at some joins today. So let's see, hopefully what can we make of it. Let's go. So for question 1, after some deliberation and some quick internet search to understand the context of the question, I have not written the whole question here, but rather to understand whether upon asking me a question regarding dimension and fact table, am I supposed to be working on the joins? And Google says yes, you are supposed to work on the joins. And then I ask him just to give me a random example so that I can recall my memories where I have already worked on the joins. So with some hint from here, a possible hint, and with regards to this question, I have written this query here. So let me explain this query for you. First of all, because my target was to work on the total sales, so I selected from the fact internet sales, which is the fact table, and after that I have selected, as I will also working on the gender, so the gender exists in the dimension table of customer. So I have selected the gender column from the customer table, and then I have summed the sales amount, which is from the fact internet sales, as total sales. And after that I have used join, and I have joined the customer table on the fact internet sales, table, based on the customer key, which is common for both. Now to connect these keys, you have to understand you will be working on either the foreign key or the primary key. Okay, now for the dimension customer, because it is a dimension table, so I would look for the primary key which it have. So the primary key which existed for the table of dimension table of the customer was the customer key. It was the primary key. Okay, and for the fact internet sales, the customer key was a foreign key, so it was an easier join here. And so now that I have pasted my query on the ChatGPT, ChatGPT is saying that was solid, and yes, day 6 is officially on. Let's do this in this order. Review of my query. From dimension to fact table, we have moved from dimension to fact table. It is my query which I have written. But you absolutely nailed. Correct fact table selection, correct join key, correct aggregation sum, correct grouping level, correct use of having for KPI filtering, and business logic 100%. This is real analyst SQL, not practice SQL, not tutorial SQL. Okay. Tiny professional polish. Okay. Okay, that's it. And we have written this query. The query is correct. So today we are officially entering day 6, and this is the question 1. It is full on KPI mode, key performance indicator mode. Will be no hints. And from today onwards, we live in fact tables. Every question would be metric and obviously no hints. So, question 1. What is the total sales amount? To solve the question 1 of the T6, which was what is the total sales amount by year, I had come up with this query after a lot of deliberation and some brainstorming. So what I have done is, first of all, I have written the from fact internet sales, okay, from the table, because we will be focusing on the total sales amount. Then I have selected the from the dimension table of date. I have selected the calendar year column, and then I have summed the sales amount as total sales. Okay. After that, I have applied join, and I have joined the dim date, which is the dimension table, but also the date table for us on the fact internet sales, which is the fact table. And I have selected this order date key as the foreign key, while for the dimension table I have selected its primary key, which is the date key, and it's also written here. It is that date key pk, which means primary key. And for order date, it is written nothing. That means it can. So after pasting this query to ChatGPT, ChatGPT says has given his review, and it says that strong start to day 6, very strong. Thank you. You are officially in KPI BI analyst territory now. Okay. Now after review of my query, what it says that the correct fact date dimension join. Okay. Correct grain sales aggregated by year. Correct metric sum sales amount. Clean group by. Okay. Business question answered exactly. Now the question 2 of day 6 says KPI mode no hints. Business question: which product generates the highest total sales and only show product? So to solve the query for the question 2 of day 6, uh, one of the first thing I have did while writing the query is started from, okay, from fact internet sales, which is a fact table. Okay, then I have selected the product key column from the product table, which is also our dimension table. Then I have summed the sales amount as total sales. Okay, and after that I have used joined, and for join I have joined the product table on the fact internet sales product key, which is the foreign key in the fact table of in the fact internet sales table, equals to the primary key in the dimension table. This means that it will be joining. It will join on this. And then I have applied where filter, and this time I have not used having. Why? Because there was no question asked regarding the group by. Okay, so this is the query which I have come up with, and let's see will it work or not. Okay, so there seems to be a problem. There seems to be a problem executing query at line 1. Okay, an aggregate may not appear in where clause unless it is subquery contained in having clause or a list of selected column being aggregated in the outer reference. Okay, let's do it like this. Let's use the alias total sales. TOTAL total SA alias total sales. Total sales. Let's check it. Okay, there seems to be a problem here, And invalid column name, total sales. Why is it invalid? It is totally valid. Okay, now should it work? Okay, there seems to be a problem here with the total sales name having. Let's apply having here. So after pasting it into ChatGPT, ChatGPT says, yes, this is exactly the right instinct. You are thinking correctly. The query is functionally correct. Let me review it like a lead analyst would. Okay. Review of my query. Okay. What you nailed. Correct fact table, correct join, correct aggregation, correct having usage, correct KPI logic. This query will return the right numbers, no doubt. Professional upgrade. And uh, this is the only reason why I share even my correct queries to ChatGPT, because it gives me very thoughtful insights into how can I improve my queries for the next. Okay, so the professional upgrade is, the business question was which product generate the highest total sales. As a stakeholders, I don't think in product key, I think in product names. Okay, I see that. Analyst mindset shift. Keys internal and names are business facing. Okay. So obviously now this tip is very, it's very thoughtful tip, because the person who's asking me the question, he doesn't care about the numbers of the product key. He wants to know the name of the product which is serving, so that he can improve its they can improve their business decision. It's perfect. So the question 3 of day 6, it is regarding KPI and ranking thinking. So business question is, what are the top 5 products by total sales amount? After some brainstorming and some deliberation, I've come up with this query to solve the question 3. But the only problem, even before executing this query, there seems to be a problem that it is not showing the top 5. And well, before explaining where I went wrong, where I am feeling underconfident, let me give you an explanation how I wrote this query. Okay, from the fact I have selected that from the fact internet sales. Okay, I have selected the English product name from the dimension table of product. Then I have summed the sales amount as total sales. Okay, then I have joined the product table, which is our dimension table, on the fact internet sales using the foreign key, using product key as a foreign key in fact internet sales, and product key is a primary key in the dimension table of product. And then we have grouped them by from the English product name. And then I have order by total sales, which was present here, and in the descending order. That means that the top selling items will be in the first row, and so on and so forth. But now so after sharing our query with ChatGPT, okay, now ChatGPT says it's great logic, tiny syntax miss, and it is very common one. Okay, that gives me some confidence. Perfect teachable moment. Okay, you are thinking 100% correctly. The issue is a dialect specific, not conceptual. Okay, so there is no problem with my concepts, but there is some issue with the dialect. Okay, so it's reviewing my query. The only problem is that you are using limit, which is MySQL and PostgreSQL, not SQL Server. And Adventure Work is a SQL Server. Okay. All right. Select top 5. So limit is not applicable whenever you want to rank something in MySQL and PostgreSQL, but rather Adventure Work is a SQL Server. Okay, so for SQL Server, what we should do? We should select only top 5 at the top. Okay, I had this thing, but let's write it here. Select top 5. Select top. So day 6 says it is the final question for today, capstone. Let's finish strong. Okay, business question. What is the average order value? Average sales amount per order. Okay, no hints, no column. This is real KPI used by leadership. Take your time. When ready, write the query. Okay, so now the query, I think so. After a lot of deliberation, some not a lot of deliberation, hit and run. I think this is what I came up with, and I know it's wrong because it wants just a single value here, and I think so I have messed it up at this point. And yeah, let's ask ChatGPT what does ChatGPT has to say about it, because I'm struggling with this thing here at this point, because there is no way I'm getting the order number here. Maybe there is a problem with the data, and I think so I'm wrong here. So what does ChatGPT has to say? ChatGPT says this is a very good attempt. Your instinct is almost there, but the KPI is slightly different from what you are currently returned. Perfect exceeds learning moment. Okay, so this is my query. This gives you total sales per order, one row per sale order. So this answers how much each order is worth. Yeah, each order is worth. Okay, it is giving me the total sales for each order. That means that every sales generated how much amount for the company. That is correct logic for order totals. So if you want to have the idea for the total orders, this is the correct logic, but it does not calculate the average. Okay, it does not calculate the average. Now the business KPI reminder, key performance indicator reminder was, what is the average order value, average sales amount per order? Translated to SQL thinking, first calculate total sales per order, then calculate average of those order total. Okay, so what is the correct way to do it? Select average order total as average order value from select explain it like we can't average raw sales line. We first compute order total, then average those totals. Okay, people who know this question separates people who know SQL syntax, people who understand business metrics. You are one step away, which is exactly why the analyst level up. Okay, I don't understand what does it say? Where I went wrong. I want to check that. So it says that this gives you, my query gives the total sales per order. Okay, total sales per order. Okay, that means it gives, every row gives me the sale value for every order. So this answer how much each order worth. Okay, that is correct logic for order totals, but it does not calculate average. Yeah, it does not calculate average, I know that. So how can I calculate the average? First calculate total sales per order. Total sales per order. Order total. So day 6, for the day 6 status, JDBT is saying that you have successfully handled fact tables, joins, revenue KPIs, ranking, time-based aggregation, but you struggled, or you can say that you went wrong with the average order value. Anyways, those were real BI. Anyways, guys, this is me, Muhammad Nisar Khan. Thank you for tuning in and watching the whole video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And also don't forget to press the bell notification on so you do not miss any updates. We are continuing with our series, and it is a 21-day challenge, and after that a new exciting surprise will come up, and hopefully we will be moving on. After the 21 days we will be moving to the portfolio for the sequel, and after that we would be working on our hopefully after completing our 21 days challenge and becoming again accustomed to the SQL, we will be moving